Okay. Okay, and we are ready with our first run is going to be R30 doing Dead Cells Fresh File. So go ahead and give me a grid countdown, and we will get started here.
So welcome everybody. Hi. Very nervous R30hedron here. Oh, Fresh File. This is not an easy category, to say the least. But say hello to our little friend. We will not start until we bash through this door to our right. So...
Skip, I believe the music's still going through, just letting you know.
if we're ready, hopefully...
Yeah, now we're ready.
The door. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Fresh File is not an easy category, as I was saying, because unlike the any percent category, we don't have any of the fancy tools at our disposal. Much like a couple of modern roguelikes and roguelites in modern era, there is a meta progression system, which is where these cells come in handy. We need to get a few of them and kill a few enemies along our way to get to the a little bit of extra loot at the end of this first starting area, the prisoners' quarters. Grab a stat scroll here to up our damage and our... Alrighty, so we want to get... Now...
Okay, alright, did that.
So we are on a slight timer here. With in-game
time,
we need to get to the exits in 2 minutes.
I gotta get back.
Grab this pan to whack our enemies. Since it's a little bit more damage than the rusty sword we started with. And once we get... we need one more kill, and then we need to find the last stat scroll and rush to the exits. That's not good. We already found the exit. Where is our last stat scroll? Alright. Oh, there it is. So we just need to find one more enemy, find a teleporter to get ourselves back to the exit, and we'll be off. Assuming that there's one more enemy to find... There's not, so we're just going to roll with it and hope for the best. That's mildly annoying, being one enemy short, but...
So R30, I know you tapped my shoulder a little bit to help with the commentary. I apologize, I ran into an audio issue at the beginning, but I'll try from this point out. I am back in the channel now.
Alrighty. Well, slightly bad luck. I was one enemy short. So, we're going with the backup strategy of... one less bit of equipment, and we don't have our fancy piece of equipment that I would have liked to have. So, we're just going to roll with it. It's minor time loss on my part, but so be it. Next area is the Promenade of the Condemned. Our main goal is to just get to the end. We don't need any more enemies to... We don't really need to kill any more enemies, so we're just going to let them do their thing.
The next, next door that has the enemies is, I believe, what, 60? And that's just not reasonable for, a speedrun playthrough to try and farm 60 kills in a row.
Yeah, and that's assuming that, A, I don't get hit, which... when you're going fast, getting hit is inevitable. As I just run into a spike. So the next main part, normally this would be going a little bit faster because I would have the Assault Shield, which lets you do a nice little bit of extra speedrun tech. We'll have to grab that on our entrance into the ramparts.
Any speedrun that you will have seen that's in any percent of this, or even if you've watched the Fresh File before, you'll notice that the shield he's going to pick up later is really the key to going quickly, and so not having it early on a Fresh File is, part of the fun part of actually running around without going real fast, I suppose.
Yeah. What's interesting, though, and just killed an elite enemy there by whacking with a pan, that is to grab the Vine Rune, which is the one sort of gated skill that we will have to pick up on our way. Since the game does pull some inspiration from Castlevania and Metroid in the fact that there is some areas that you can't get to without getting some extra skills, and maybe not necessarily backtracking, but doing extra runs.
It is possible to get a vine skip, though. Based upon that's just based
rare.
on the geometry, just the geometry of the level, that sometimes you can get past that needing to fight that enemy if you have the assault shield already, which you don't, so that wouldn't have been possible anyways.
Yeah, and I think
rare.
out of the people that do the fresh file category, I'm one of the few people that still tries to go for that. Most people just don't bother with even going for the assault shield until they get to this point in the run, since the time save is not a huge amount to be relying on the RNG of. Well, maybe I might be able to skip fighting that elite enemy. But there we go, now we have our assault shield, which will allow us to hit the shield button and then roll immediately afterwards to do a bit of a faster boost of speed than you would normally see if you just did a normal shield bash.
And that's done by doing I believe it's a roll first, then immediately after doing the putting the shield out into parry mode or shield block mode, and that causes that really fast kind of movement animation that we haven't had up to this point.
Exactly, and this is... Okay, got lucky. Got lucky with jumping over the pit there. But yeah, that you'll see this is something that you have from the start when you're doing the any percent category. So it's definitely a nice thing to have once you get it in the any percents, or in the fresh file, I should say, because it means that you get to go just a tad bit faster. It's a little bit closer to the any percent category going forward here, except I don't have all the damage that I would like to have, which is
Now R30 is looking for a little monument that looks kind of like a T.
Except we didn't get it, so we just have an exit at the end.
Oh, we have an
That's
exit at
nice.
the end.
I'll take that.
That's a lot easier than trying to look for a monument.
Indeed.
Normally the little T would tell you exactly where the exit is. Not exactly, but it's past that point is the exit to the right. It's a little bit confusing, but if you don't see it, then you know it's all the way to the right. So it's
Yep.
just helps you get through that level, which otherwise can be a lot of backtracking in a casual playthrough.
Yep. If we end up dying, we probably will end up seeing it later on. So, I got kind of lucky with this pan. Alright, well... I said pan and I meant to say wolf trap. You'll notice that when I deploy the wolf trap and stick our resident yelling fellow into it, he got poisoned, which is one thing that a bit of different pieces of equipment can have is certain affixes, like extra damage on poison targets, or applies poison to the target. I am being a little bit sloppy with this.
You either want to go for the complete flawless here or just tank some damage. If you can get flawless, you'll be getting a legendary weapon, which obviously can help out your run immensely. But you know, once you get hit, there's no reason in continuing to not get hit because you'll be able to refill that HP soon.
Yeah. I am not an expert at defeating the concierge without getting hit. I am an expert at getting hit by him, that is, so... You choose your battles. I think we'll go with this. I probably should have went with the firebrands there instead, but... No matter, no matter. And with that, that's the first third of the game. We are off to the Stilt Village after beating the Concierge. It is at this point that we hit our first... actually, no, we don't... Well, we get a little bit of RNG in the run, where we need to find these sub-areas here. They kindly labeled them.
There was a little symbol of a key on that one, which is nice.
Because we're doing fresh file, we don't have all the tools of the trade that we would normally in any percent. We are going to need to get both keys. If it was the any percent, we could get away with not getting both keys.
You have the ability to basically climb over a wall that separates a big part of the level, so when you're doing an 90%, that you don't have right now.
This was not the path that had the cursed chest. Because I didn't get the flawless against the Concierge, I'm going to be a little bit risky and get a cursed chest. Now, a cursed chest will give you a piece of equipment that is colorless, which is... Maybe I shouldn't be, considering I'm getting hit. But if I can get the cursed chest, the item will be colorless, which means that it will scale with whatever stat I've got, and will also be of a higher level than I normally have at this point in the game. You have a thing, I think, that I want, so I think I am going to actually... Yes, you do. It is a legendary item that's rare, but I'll take it instead of going for a cursed chest. Occasionally, elites will just grant you a nice piece of equipment, and you just roll with it. Barnacle, that's not something that you normally have unlocked, but it's a colorless turret, which means... And it poisons, too? Nice. Alright, I need to find the last key door, which looks like it's going to end up being over here. Alright, so that's a lot less stressful of not having to go for the cursed chest.
I don't know if we talked about the cursed chest, but correct, yeah. The cursed chest gives you some nice items, but you have to basically kill 10 enemies without getting hit, which, as you've seen, not getting hit in a fresh file run, or even in a speedrun in general, is difficult. It's an instant kill, and it would be an instant reset of the fresh file run.
Indeed. So I will take a randomly dropped legendary equipment from an elite. That is by and far a much better option than a cursed chest. Because Barnacle's not bad. Hello there! We're going to have you give me a more powerful infantry grenade. Poisons the enemy's good. I need to see if I can find a better weapon than the pan, but we'll wait and see how that goes. We're going to go into the clock tower, though, which is one of the... Other than the ramparts, which we went through earlier, this is the first big point of RNG in the run, because we have 4 towers. One of them has a key, one of them has the exit. It's basically a 1 in 3 chance of getting the key first try, so it's one of those things where, you know, if I don't find the key first try, let's say it's a... For each tower I have to go through, I probably will try to donate $2 or so per tower I have to go through, because, you know, RNG. If it's a... We want to go through one of those teleporter obelisks here, and hope that it has the tower at the top. If it has...
And speaking of donations as well, keep in mind we have been talking about the any percent run. It is a bonus run we got set up kind of early here that if... I believe it's $15 donated through here, we will unlock R30 then doing the any percent run, so you can see the differences when he's done with this fresh file.
So, first tower was a bust, so moving on to
$2.
tower number 2.
$2.
On the bright side, going through more towers means I find more stats, which is going to be... Okay, so I accidentally went to the exit tower first. That's... I didn't realize that we had already gone through the other towers already, so that is a mistake on my part. Grab that.
And one thing that we actually haven't talked about, or maybe did before I was able to hop on, is you'll notice also that, pushing enemies off ledges is a very good strategy for this game. Gravity is your friend. It will kill most bosses by just dropping them off even the smallest ledge. Which, boom, there you can see.
Which is huge. I think this is going to be not the right tower either, because I think I saw out of the corner of my eye the tower at the start had the locked door that had the ramp punishment shield, which is a very long and lengthy... Yep, as I thought. A bit of a long and lengthy side quest in this area if you want to unlock the shield blueprints for future runs. In our case, usually that locked door also is in the same tower as the... Yeah, not going for the cursed chest, sorry. Usually this locked door right to our right here is in the same tower as our key. That's going to be slightly better, I think. A little bit more damage reduction, and it's slightly... It still has the brutality stats that I'm looking for. The elites will drop pieces of amulets, which give you a little bit of extra stats, give you a nice little extra bonus depending on what it happens to be. So that was a 4 tower, so that was a 3 tower, plus this 4th tower, so... Well, the 4th tower has the exit, so... That was the worst possible RNG I could have gotten, but we got extra stats out of it, and I'm $8 poorer, so we'll take that. This is the second major boss fight. This is the Timekeeper.
And we're still running with the frying pan, so this could be interesting.
Well, frying pan's not bad. Got a hit, but...
And going for legendary on this one is, well, frankly, from a speedrunning perspective,
doable.
it's slow. It's just really slow on this one. So a viable strategy could have been to try and at least, get a better weapon there with a legendary, but that's one. But it does, trying to go fast, it's not going to be the fast way to do this fight.
And to be fair, frying pan isn't a bad weapon. It gives a little bit of extra critical damage if you hit them face first. It's just going to be a little bit slow, which worries me with the final fight. Especially since I usually have the fight over by now. We might be buying a weapon from a shop here in the castle. Or for safety's sake, I might go for a 3-key setup with castle here. I don't want to, because it's slower, but sometimes you don't have a choice in the matter.
Safe to say this would probably be a reset run if this was a PB attempt, just with some.
If I was going for PB attempts, this would 100. I am well behind my PB right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're just entering in about 19 minutes, and we still have the castle to go, which is not. All right, no need to kick me off the ledge twice there, Mr. Catcher. So, castle is the second part of RNG in the run. Why is it RNG? Well, we need to get to... We have basically a 50-50 shot of going through to find the path that has the exits. Castle gets split at the entrance into two main branches. Each branch has an exit into the sub-areas. This is the blue one. We have a red one, a green one, and a blue one. Blue one, we are going to be fighting an elite slasher. Oh, and this is a long entrance into this area, too. That's fun.
Yeah, in short, trying to find the right path is,
It's
what
fun.
will eat up most of your time.
So now we are in the other branch, because we went through and passed through. That is not a scroll I want to pick up, or... Oh, crap, you. I am getting a lot of off stats. This is the second one, which had the second green one. We only need to go through 2 of these sub-areas to fight these 3 elites.
In chat, someone's asking about the chicken. Now that would be an insane way of doing a marathon.
I forgot about the
someone
chicken.
Giving the chicken.
I forgot about the chicken. There is Twitch integration that I forgot to set up beforehand because I forgot that was a thing.
That would be the ultimate way of getting completely trolled during a fresh file run, though, is having someone else be the chicken and picking your
and in control
augments.
of your scrolls.
That seems like a very bad idea, but hey,
you know what?
We need a challenge for the next event, right?
This is something you don't usually go for, challenge rifts, but you know what? We're showcasing the game, and I'm behind on stats anyway, so I'll go for it. You don't go for these for... fresh, if ever, any category speedrun, because they're slow. But you get a little bit of extra stat out of it, and it's a fun little challenge. Because I want the run to succeed, rather than the run die. You know, it'd be fun not dying to the hand of the king. It'd also be fun not to die to spikes, but apparently I'm not learning my lesson.
It's hard to go slowly through spikes when you're going fast.
And yeah, I think for safety's sake, I will probably go for the third door here. You only need to get 2 to get to the exit, but because I'm still running the second thought, this is the other sort of legendary equipment that you can get, is a piece of legendary equipment that's just randomly in the world somewhere. You have to kill the enemies surrounding it, but we just got ourselves a legendary frying pan. I'll take that. And since we're already here...
We should change this to frying pan %, I'm pretty sure.
Very. Frying pan's fun, not gonna lie. Okay, hopefully I'm on the branch that tags the exits. And I don't have to backtrack, because that'd be slow. Ah, there's the exit. So normally I would just go for that second 2 keys, but if you get 3 keys, you get a nice extra scroll of power here. Is that better? No, it's not. So this is a lot more stats than I would normally have for this category. So fingers crossed that I don't die stupidly to the hand of the king, because that'd be sad. Do I have... I'm going to try to re-roll this and hope for extra damage on... Okay, well, that's fine. Toxic Cloud on hit. That's going to be sufficient enough, I hope, to fry the Hand of the King. But we are here at our final boss, and hopefully we don't die. If we die, we die, and we give it another try, right?
The good thing is that's hence the hour 15 estimate. I think we're okay.
So, Hand of the King is our final boss, and our last big fight.
Now, I mean, I want to point out as well that we've had R30 making this entire game up to this point look trivial. It's not been. There's been a lot of having to parry attacks and movement tech that's very specific. And this fight even more so. This fight is actually looking difficult, which, keeping in mind, has made the rest of the game look easy. It's that much more difficult. It is a brutal final fight.
Mainly because attacks like that and... If we're able to get the any percent... Okay, so... we beat the Hand of the King. And part of that was because we ended up finding 2 legendary pieces of equipment. That's rare.
Wow. There we go.
So now we're going to grab ourselves a symmetrical lance, break the shield, and the Hand of the King was protecting the king. So we're going to kill the king. This is not time, by the way. As sad as it is, this isn't time.
Spoilers.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Yes, very. We kill the Hand of the King. This isn't even the biggest point of spoilers. Oh, but the Hand of the King is now somehow exploded. We are now back to being the blob that we started out as.
Time is when you enter the
Right now. Yep. So that was on my timer, that was a 26:17, which is slow. It's not a great time, but it's a successful run, and I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, GG on that. That's really good.
The entire run is about, can you get enough damage to beat the Hand of the King? It's, can you get enough scrolls, enough damage?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy fight. Yesterday with practice, 2 hours and not getting a successful run was... it was fun. It was very